Hello, my friends. Mark Cunningham at Grace Property Management. Let me talk to you for just a few minutes about this idea of a lease assignment. See, my team informed me that last month we did, I believe it was 10. We did 10 lease assignments in our office last month. You see, Mark, what's a lease assignment? Is that a lease? Or what is a lease assignment? See, a lease assignment is simply any change in who is on the lease agreement. Any change in who is on the lease agreement. I don't mean the tenant moves out and you do a deposit return and a new tenant moves in. No. I'm talking about when you have more than one party on the lease agreement, or maybe just one, but they need to change who is on the lease agreement. So it happens in issues and situations like this. Roommate replacement, right? 3 buddies are living together and one of the buddies is like, you know what? I'm moving across the country. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to be a surfer. And the other 2 roommates are like, oh man, well, who are we going to get to pay the other third of the rent? And one of them's like, well, you know what? I got another buddy who I met at the bar last week. He'll replace you. Let's get him on. Let's bring him on. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? And they're kind enough to call you as the PM and say, hey, yeah, surfer guy's going to Hawaii, but we got a new dude come on here. He's going to pay a third of the rent. What do we need to do? What do you do? Do you do up a new lease? Like, what do you do? This would be an instance where I would recommend you do a lease assignment, and I'll tell you exactly how to do that in just a minute. But it'd be a roommate replacement. One person moves out, another person moves in. It could also be simply roommate addition. So maybe a person's living by himself and times are getting tough. And he says, hey, I want to bring in a roommate. Or she says, I want to bring on a roommate to help me pay my rent. They're adding on a roommate. Maybe it's a boyfriend, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a girlfriend, but someone is coming in addition to the person or persons already there. That's what would be a great time to do a lease assignment. Third example, divorce. Right? People walk into your office and say, hey, we're splitting up. We're both on the lease agreement, but one of us is out of here, so we need to get that person off the lease because now only one party is going to be responsible for the lease. We want to get that person off. What do? Lease assignment. One more example, marriage, the opposite of divorce. Somebody came in our office not too long ago. Oh, they were so excited. I'm so happy, I'm getting married. I want to add my spouse to the lease. What do? Say it with me, lease assignment. Now here's the question. You say, well, Mark, don't we just make up a new lease? Like, wouldn't I just kind of, and you could do that, yes. You could do up a whole new lease, which requires a lot of work, a lot of paperwork. It's a whole new lease. Maybe you're having that new person apply, maybe you're not. What's happening to the deposit? If one roommate's moving out or you'd given them their part back, like, messy. Instead, what I recommend is to simply do the lease assignment rather than making up a full new lease agreement. Now, before I tell you the specifics on how to put together a lease assignment form, let me thank the sponsor for this video, Enterprise Bank. Guys, if you're not doing your trust accounting and your business accounting with Enterprise Bank, why not? They are an experts in trust accounting for property managements in the banking world. Like, that's all you need to know. They pay you an earnings credit. It's all online. We switched them a couple years ago. One of the best decisions we ever made. So reach out to Allison at Enterprise Bank. Her email's on there. I'll link to her in there. Tell her that Mark sent you. I use them. That's the highest compliment I can pay to them. Okay, so we've already determined that you probably don't want to make up a new lease. But you say, well, Mark, if I don't make up a whole new lease, what happens to that person's portion of the deposit? And what do we do? What I recommend you do is prepare, and this is in our forms package. You can get ours if you don't have one of your own. Prepare and use a lease assignment form. So it's a couple-page document, and what it does legally is it assigns all of the rights, responsibilities, obligations, and security deposit from the leaving party to the new party coming in. Now, you can still do a background check and still process, make sure you want to let that new person in. But if I come to you and say, hey, I'm leaving, I'm out of here, but my buddy on the other side of that door is going to replace me. Okay, we both sign a lease assignment form. I sign as the assignor, yes. Assignee. I'm the assignee, meaning that I'm assigning all my rights, obligations, responsibilities, duties, deposit, everything to the assignee. The assignee signs off on it saying, yes, I accept all of Mark's rights, responsibilities, and obligations, including the deposit type of a thing. If you don't have one of these docs, please get it. It'll just make your life so much easier. So that the next time somebody wants to change out their tenancy that way, you simply say, hey, no problem. Maybe you do the background check, probably should. But then you have both parties sign the form, and then I get to walk away scot-free. Right? I'm the assignor. I'm the assignee. I'll get back to that one. I sign off. I leave the property. The other person comes in. They get that. So now when the deposit gets returned a year from now, it's going to that guy. You say, well, Mark, what do I do about the deposit between those two? You don't do anything. That's between them. They can figure it out. But the document itself is going to assign everything to the new party. Now, I do recommend you charge your applicant, your parties for this. Why? Because it's a process. It takes time, and there's aspects and legal time involved to get this stuff done. So you want to charge an appropriate lease assignment fee to the parties to have this done. Pretty standard in the industry. Hey, jump on our website, look at our forms package. If you don't have one of those lease assignment forms, you can get ours on there. But ensure that you're handling your tenants properly. Make it easy on them, make it easy on yourself when a lease assignment needs to happen.